Okay, we're looking at negative and fractional indices here. So, couple of examples. Now, here, when you've got a fractional index, fractional power, whatever you want to call it, all right, the denominator is a root, and the numerator is your normal squareds, cubes, whatever. Okay, so we've got to the power 2/3. So essentially, I could write this as like this using root. So we get this, alright, y to the 15. Okay, and that's all squared. Okay, so I'm going to deal with the root first because I like dealing with the smaller numbers. Personally, I don't know what 27 squared is. Alright, so that's kind of part of the reason for writing it like this. So the cube root of 27 gives me 3. Cube root of x to the power 6. Well, what multiplies by itself again to give me x to the power 6? Well, that's x squared. Alright, and y to the power 5. And I've got to square all of that. Okay, so if you think about it, x squared times x squared times x squared gives me, and I'll just change colour quickly, gives me x to the power 6. Y to the power 5 times y to the power 5 times y to the power 5 gives me y to the power 15. That's where I've got those from. I've actually found a third of 6 and a third of 15, haven't I? Okay, now I'm going to square them, and that's much easier to do. Y to the power 10. Okay, and there's my answer. Alright, so I would deal with the roots first and then the numerator there. Now, this one looks horrible. It's not that bad. The negative, a negative power just finds the reciprocal. So the first thing I would do would be to deal with the negative. So deal with the negative. I'm just going to turn that fraction upside down. Turn that frown upside down. Okay. Now to the power half is a square root. And so therefore I just need to square root all of that. 5 y to the power 3. 4x squared. Right, there you go. Right, pretty straightforward really. Yeah, it's essentially this with to the power half, or the 25. If you think about it, here we go. X to the power half times x to the power half is x to the power 1. X to the power 1, which is the same as square root of x times the square root of x equals x. They're the same thing. Alright, that's where that comes from. Alright, but it's just a case of remembering fractional powers. Numerator is like your squareds, your cubes, and the denominator's a root, and a negative means you find the reciprocal or turn the fraction upside down.